Next topic, application engineering in North America, looking at demands that modern-day projects are having on the design and use of tower cranes. We've got two speakers for this. First is Marco Gentilini, Vice President and General Manager of Tower Cranes at Terex. Marco's worked at Terex for 18 years and has been General Manager of the tower crane business since 2014. We also have Massimo Capello, who's Product Manager at Terex Cranes. I think they're nearly ready to be with us. Just a second. Please welcome Marco and Massimo to the stage.
Hello, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am Marco Gentilini, and thank you, Alex, for the introduction. And as soon as ready, we have also Massimo here. We'd like Massimo to briefly introduce himself. Today, Massimo and I are going to talk to you about the increasing importance of application engineering in the North American crane industry.
Hello, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Massimo Cappello. As made by the introduction, I'm the Director of Product Engineering for Terex Tower Cranes. I joined Terex 12 years ago. I covered different positions in the company, started from the after sales. Then I was for the last 4 years Director of Operations in the Crespellano side for after rains, and now I joined again the towers business since January this year as product manager, as I said.
Thank you, Massimo. New product development is a key feature, is a key factor for success in many industries, and of course including cranes. And every manufacturer is challenged by its own customers to develop new innovative products faster and with better features and performances. And of course the tower crane industry falls into this as well. But the tower crane industry indeed requires manufacturers also to develop application solutions specific for the different job sites and the different application. And this is what really makes application engineering very peculiar, very specific in this business. Application engineering goes beyond new product developments indeed, providing engineering solutions through the life cycle of our equipment and enabling new challenges in building, design, and construction. So why do we want today to talk to you about application engineering? Because we believe application engineering can help in maximizing the efficiency of construction process and the return on investment, as well as attracting new business. So today we are going to take you through a little bit of background about the evolution of buildings and construction challenges, particularly in North America. And then next, Massimo is going to take you through what typically application engineering from a manufacturer side is performing, what activities we perform to support our partners. And also, we try to give you a sense of recent trends we notice in the activity in North America. And finally, we would like to have a look at the future. What we see in terms of new challenges that are coming from the industry. And we'll also see how application engineering is a great opportunity to learn, understand the needs from the customers, from construction industry, and then drive back improvements into our new product development process. Of course, to be successful, we need to work together with our partners in finding the right and most efficient solutions. North American cities evolved consistently during the last decades, and high-rise buildings are increasing in number and height. Application engineering supports the design and construction of these new products offering specific and tailorized solutions. Evolution and growth of the cities mean increasing height of the buildings, reduced distances between the buildings, so having to operate in narrower spaces, typically increasing weights, so increasing performances and capacity of the cranes, traffic and logistics in and around the job sites drive the need to improve efficiency and in the plan and the execution of the job site. And timing, schedule are becoming more and more critical. And also regulations are important into this in terms of urban needs, noise limitations, pollution, etc. And with that, I would turn it over to Massimo to go deeper into the application.
Thank you, Marco. So we can see here a key important point regarding the application engineering, which is to provide support prior and during the construction in the job site. And here you can see some examples as well as some pictures of what we are talking about when we come to mass composition, where you have a combination of different towers, elements to be combined in order to reach a certain height. To work and provide consultancy on the external or internal climbing, when you have to climb up the crane or climb it down. Also, the collars for tying the crane to the building. And again, as mentioned by Marco, you can see the reduced parking radius, which is becoming more and more important in places where the cranes are very crowded and close together. As well as working on the crane setup in order to follow the job site progression and to have the crane which is following exactly at the same pace in order to do not jeopardize the efficiency and the schedule as mentioned. As well also other kind of analysis in some peculiar situations like seismic analysis. So these are a few examples of the most important type of support that the crane producer has to provide to the contractor for having the job done. Now going to some example, I would say that application engineering is develop advanced solution, and as you can see here, there are two examples. The one on the left is a grillage that has been installed at 787 feet height. This is the Shard, which is the tallest building in Europe, building in London. And here you can see the quote from Wikipedia English version regarding the Shard, where at a certain point it's written that the final crane at the time, the tallest ever built in Britain, was erected because due to the shape of the building, the crane could not be started from the ground, but it needed to be erected at a certain height on the building. On the right side, you can see another example of a tethered jib solution where a special support has been designed and installed on the tower due to some restriction on the side because two cranes were not far enough to avoid an interference. And so we have to develop that solution and of course to validate and verify the structure in order to be able to support the strength, the forces which were applied both on the jib of the crane and on the other side on the tower. So these are an example of how somehow and sometime the application engineering is called to develop advanced solution for job sites. Here you can see another example for a crane which was conceived for an oil and gas offshore platform where such a big crane was completely erected, the upper part, as you can see on the left, and it has been moved with that twin lattice boom mobile crane. It has been erected on a portal for the application, as well as a support that you can see on the left side for having the jib stowed in the out-of-service solution. This is another important example of a special application which has been developed. Here we get with some data which are coming from our experience, and you can see here on the graph our increasing number of requests we have for application engineering in the last 3 years. And in dark blue, you can see the requests coming from North America, which are highlighted. And as you can see here, the North America percentage is increasing even more significantly to, let's say, the total amount of requests that we work with the application engineering. This is exactly in line to what has been mentioned by Mr. Chalupny earlier this morning, that there is an increasing of this kind of request in the North America, and we are experiencing the same behavior, as you can see here on the data. On this slide, when we go in more deeper analysis regarding the activity that have been performed in North America, you can see an important analysis coming out from this graph. As this plot represents how the typology was changed compared to the last period of time. So here we are comparing 2015 with 2018. As you can see, there is a decrease of the so-called standard configuration, namely the base loads, which was decreased in the recent time compared to the previous, while on the other hand, you can see an increase of other requests of application which are more connected to, let's say, special application as well as mass composition, internal climbing and external climbing, and so on. So this is an important message that we can see here from the data connected to the kind of activity, that there is more and more demand for special application, for special conditions, special job site, and this is exactly what we are experiencing. So this is my last slide, so I'm giving back the microphone to Marco Gentilini, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Massimo. Just, scusa. All right. How does application engineering interact with the key players, and where does it fit? So with this slide, we have tried to represent the interactions. And basically, building designers, architects, bring new ideas and projects that force the construction industry to develop and adapt to these new challenges. And then the construction industry is becoming more and more demanding in job site layout and lifting plans. And we in the crane industry have to support and address such demand and challenges, developing advanced solutions, and this ability at the same time becomes an enabler for building designers and architects to develop new ideas. And this close relationship between the designers, the construction industry, the crane industries, drives a cycle of continuous improvement and innovation that is continuously increasing the expectations and the targets, project after project, year after year. One example of these new challenges that we are seeing is in the building shapes. Here you have a couple of examples of some kind of unconventional shapes, if I can say that way. Another example is in the utilization of all available space in the cities, developing new high-rise buildings in narrow spaces in already existing buildings. But one trend in the industry that we are seeing more and more is the design of new projects with the so-called digital engineering that allows to model in 3D the design of the building, including systems, pipes, electric system, and including cranes, tower cranes as well, and enabling to simulate the construction process from the foundation to the complete building, including erection and climbing of the tower cranes. BIM, the building information modeling, allows constructors to anticipate and address issues that may arise during the construction process, and therefore to maximize the efficiency of the process. This activity, of course, is maximized if the tower crane manufacturer can support by providing 3D models of our cranes that can be incorporated in the overall model. I would like to share with you a short video, where you can see what it means. And in the first part of the video, you will see a 3D model of a project and its progress during the building process, including tower cranes climbing up. In the second part of the video, you will see on left-hand side of the screen the digital conception of a building made in 2011 with 3D system, CAD system. And on the right-hand side of the screen, you will see its equivalent actual image, so the real building, after completion of construction in 2016. Oops. Application engineering is also a great opportunity for continuous learning about customer needs. And this means that some new solutions that we have to develop for a specific job site or a specific customer may really represent a larger trend in the industry. And then we have to bring it into our product development process. Here is one example where on the left-hand side picture, you can see a solution that we had to develop in order to reduce the parking radius for our laughing jib cranes. And we developed a retractable wind sail to achieve this target. But then understanding from the industry that reduce the out-of-service parking radius is really a more general demand in many job sites, we brought into our new product development, and on the right-hand side of the picture, you can see a recently developed new crane where basically we can achieve the same result just by redesigning the crane. So application engineering is also a great way to really bring improvement into the new product development process. But again, application engineering goes beyond new product development, and really to be successful, we need to work together with our partners in finding the right and most efficient lifting solutions. So really only working closely together we can improve our performance, having the best return on investment on every job site we are, and earning new business, new challenges. Finally, since ancient times, humanity felt the need to build not only buildings, but monuments. And monuments that mark the time and stay for posterity. And we see this need reflected in several big projects that we see around the world in our time too. And this is something that makes application engineering almost unique to me, in the sense that it drives a sense of excitement, passion, and proud in the work that our application engineers do in taking such new challenges. And so with that, I would really close this presentation with a big thank to all the application engineers in the room. Thank you for helping our industry in taking new challenges and raising the bar project after project, year after year. Thank you.
Thank you, Marco and Massimo. Does anybody have a question, please? No? No questions? I've one question. I wanted to know about the size of your application department in terms of number of people for working on that, and how much it's increased in recent years.
It's still, honestly, it's still a small team inside our engineering department. The good news, we have, I think, two sides of that is some of the key persons in that team have grown in other important opportunities, job inside the company. So it's a way to, from a personal perspective, to grow their career, to progress in their career. And the other good news is recently we are adding new younger engineers into that team to kind of, keep it growing.
Great, thank you. Good opportunity. Thank you very much, Marco. Thank you, Massimo.
Thank you.
And now we've got a break for lunch. Take this opportunity to visit the sponsors' tables in the room next door as well while you're having lunch. We'll come back and restart this afternoon at 1:45. We've got a strong lineup this afternoon, starting with 2 speakers from Basfield and Gorrie. So please do come back at 1:45. Thank you. Enjoy your lunch.